Hello there and welcome to another Tier Series race. This week we're in the Schafter V12, which is a car that is known for having quite high top speed because it has quite a lot of engine power, but it doesn't have an awful lot of traction, so that's going to make it quite an interesting drive and quite a challenging one at that. So here we are at the start of the lap with this very fast and bumpy left-hander. It's very challenging in this car, and then also this braking zone is bumpy as well, so we want to be careful not to brake too late. And then on the exit of this left-hander we want to make sure we use all of the bumps, short shift through the gears, and then make sure that again this is another bumpy braking zone, so we want to be careful not to brake too late. So here we're just trying to maximise our speed on the exit of the corner by using all of the different bumps and curbs that we can, because now we've got quite a long fast section ahead of us, and so going into here we want to get as left as we can. And then I just lost the rear a little bit there, that probably cost me a tenth or two, and that just was because yeah, the top speed of the car is quite high and it does have relatively low traction, so yeah, I didn't quite control the rear as well as I would have liked, and probably cost me a tenth or two. This is a very tight and twisty section. The hitbox on the inside of that right-hander there that I just went through isn't ideal. You actually kind of need to give it a little bit more space than you might think, because if you go too close to it, yeah, you'll hit the invisible hitbox and get pushed away from the corner. Again, this is still a really tight and twisty section, very challenging, very bumpy. These bumps just want to send you away from the apex. You can see I slid there into the wall. Again, that probably cost me another probably 2 or 3 tenths, that one, compared to an absolutely perfect sort of corner. So we're just coming into another high speed section again, and again this left-hander it's very blind, so it's very difficult to spot where it is that you actually need to turn and where it is that you're going to be apexing. This right-hander, it's high speed, it's bumpy, so again the rear is very difficult to control. Here we want to just get all the way over the curb, and then again this left-hander we want to just try and get on the curb if we can. Bring the car over to the right-hand side, use all of the road that we can. We're just about getting away with it there, perfect. Nice and smooth through this left-hander, and now we're just going to finish the lap with another technical section. So this right-hander and this left-hander, and then this right-hander again, and all of these corners are very, very bumpy, so not only are they tight but they're bumpy, makes it very technical. And then this left-hander, just a little bit of a lift, and then that's the finish. So what you've just seen there was qualifying, and as you can see we finished qualifying in 14th position, which I was happy with, because the objective with these races, as always, is to promote for the next round, and in order to do that we need to finish in the top half of the field, which today is 15th or better. So that was quite a hectic start, and we actually started the race as the leading car in our tier, which is the Schafter V12. And after the first few corners we then dropped back behind the other two Schafter V12s who were in the race, which is Hxrry and Serenniel. But then they also got caught up in incidents in the next few corners after that, so I ended up regaining most of the positions that I'd lost, and ended up being the leading Schafter again. So it was a very up and down first lap, but as we are at the minute, we're in 15th position, which is right on that cut-off point for whether we'll get promoted or not. So at the minute I'm reasonably happy with where I am, because as I said, it's right on that sort of cut-off of whether we'll get through or not. And so yeah, the objective here really is to just at least at the very minimum maintain position, but if I can also move forward as well. Okay, so we're now a few laps into the race, we're on lap 4, and we've made up a few positions from other drivers making mistakes, which happened off screen, so I haven't been able to show them. But yeah, now we've got up to another little group of cars, and although we're in a pretty strong position already, we're going to try and make some moves if we can, and otherwise just stick with them. Okay, so that was potentially a bit of a controversial moment. I felt at the time as though that was basically the mistake of the car in front for going wide and then coming back on track, but there was definitely more that I could have done in the moment to sort of not have a collision. I definitely could have moved further to the left, for example, because I knew that they were obviously going to have to rejoin the track. So if I'd sort of lifted off and moved further to the left, then that would have given them more space to do so. So at the time I was thinking about all of this. As a consequence of what I've just said, I kind of felt as though it was probably 50-50. It was kind of initially their mistake, but then there was probably more that I could have done to help the situation. So because of the fact that I felt it was 50-50, I didn't wait in the moment, but without giving up too much information, you'll see later on in the race kind of how the situation ends up playing out. So here we are coming in for our first of 2 pit stops, and in this pit stop we're going to be stopping for a full tank of fuel. So we've just come out from our first pit stop, and although we've been jumped by Hazard in the pits, we're still looking pretty good because we're still in 14th position, and we're also going to gain at least 1 more position from people who haven't yet done any pit stops. So we're coming in now for our second and final pit stop, and once again we're going to take a full fuel load, and that's because I'm in a really strong position, definitely in a good enough position to promote, and so I don't want to take any risks at all. So we're on the final lap now, almost at the end of the race, and if you cast your mind back to earlier on in the race, I had a bit of what could have been described as a potentially controversial incident with another car, and I was still thinking about it at this point, because I was still thinking in my head that it was 50-50, but I still also felt kind of bad for it because I definitely could have done more, as I've already said. So yeah, I decided at the very end of the race it was only fair just to try and let them back through. Although it was very, very close on the line, I still managed to stay in a promotion spot, and yeah, thankfully both me and the car that I crashed with were able to promote from that race. So yeah, it was a good outcome for both of us. With all of that said and done, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining, and I'll see you next time.